Some good news this morning. Reuters has a new poll, Harris +3, Morning Consult, Harris +4. Despite this, I know that we're all feeling massive anxiety, and it seems like now the way the news is covered, you have the 24-hour news cycle, you have the podcast cycle, you have the algorithm cycle, and it seems to shift back and forth all the time, driving us all bananas. But the choice is very clear. Listen to this psychopath, Hannibal Lecter, out on the campaign trail.
The United States is now an occupied country. But on November 5th, 2024, we will be a liberated country. We will be liberated like never before. It will be Liberation Day.
That is so weak. I mean, a candidate for the president of the United States, number one, lying.
Yeah.
And number two, representing American strength. The Republican Party used to be all about American strength and all this stuff, saying we're occupied. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And he throws it out to his poorly educated base, and then they start cheering like they're under siege.
I'm always more depressed when I listen to the people cheering at his rallies than I am by what he actually says, because it is so disheartening. So I would argue that, of course, the United States is not an occupied country, but there are those that occupy it that are MAGA, that are just fucking dipshits. So that's my bigger concern. And he was also saying, like, Times Square is being run over. I mean, like, shut the fuck up. That's not even true. But you know when he's lying because his lips are moving.
Right. You know, this is just this whole movement of his to demonize immigrants is a play out of Hitler's playbook.
Absolutely.
And they want to unify behind a common thing to hate. But what concerns me most is he has expanded it to people that oppose him, to the media. And you remember back when he was president in 2016 to 2020, he was really going hard at the media. And since then, he's quadrupled down on it. So if he were to regain power again, it's not just immigrants, it's not just judges, it's not just politicians that are his rivals. It's going to trickle down. You know, Republicans love to talk about trickle down. It's going to be trickle down cruelty. And the scariest thing that everybody has to remember is the Heritage Foundation is ready this time,
right?
Because they were upset. Nobody thought he was going to win in 2016, and he did, and nobody was ready. Some of the Trump people in his cabinet came in and said, so when do the other people leave? Like the Obama people. And they're like, we're all leaving. You have to have a full transition team. They weren't prepared. So there's a 900-page manifesto that he can use his pen, and it's going to be executive orders, and democracy is going to be gone. But he continues to lie and lie and lie. And why this lie is getting any traction is beyond me, because it's so verifiably false. Kylie, play the clip.
You know, in Washington, I don't know if you ever noticed this, you got Department of Education, Department of Education. You got half the buildings are Department of Education. I never saw. You don't need any of them. You know, I want one person and a secretary to just make sure they're teaching English, okay? Give her a little English, okay? I say reading, writing, and arithmetic. No transgender, no operations. You know, they take your kid. There are some places, your boy leaves for school, comes back, a girl, okay? Without parental consent. What is that all about? That's when they talk about a threat to democracy, they're a threat. Could you imagine, without parental consent? At first, when I was told that was actually happening, I said, you know, it's an exaggeration. No, it happens. It happens. There are areas where it happens.
Okay, he's sitting right next to a journalist from Fox, okay? And I say journalist in quotes loosely. He's claiming that kids are going to school, little boys, wieners are getting whacked off, and then they're going home, little girls. Like, it's the fact that he wasn't fact-checked immediately on that, and that wasn't shut down. And for a low information voter that isn't super highly educated, they hear this. These are the people that believed all the kitty litter nonsense,
sure,
right? And so these are the people that think he won the 2020 election. So these are people that traffic in misinformation and disinformation. But number one, he wasn't corrected. Number two, let's just think about how fucking crazy that would be. You send a little boy to school, you're going to have anesthesia, all of these things that go down. And then the mom picks the little boy up. And then later on, at bath time, they discover his penis is gone. It's 1,000% false. It's 1,000% not happening. This is a danger to all of these people that work at schools. You see how visceral and ugly and psychotic the moms of liberty are, banning books and all this crazy shit. And then there he's talking about dismantling the Department of Education. And I wonder why. Well, I know why. Because when he ran for president the first time, the truth always slips out. He says, yeah, we do great with the poorly educated.
So proud. Here's a couple things about that just make me crazy. I agree with you on the fact checking. But number one, his entire campaign is focused on transgender. Now he's got this ad that is running nonstop in all sporting events, like 3, 4, 5 times in one game, about how Kamala Harris supports transgender surgeries in prisons. His fucking administration was the one that authored that policy in 2018. Look it up. It was him. It's not her. He made the law just because she said she would enforce it. It makes me crazy for that reason. The second reason it makes me crazy is we're talking about transgender all the time. Less than 1% of the people in the United States. But you know what nobody's talking about? Fucking kids dying at schools from school shootings when it is the largest killer of kids in this country. I have had it. I am sick of it. I'm sick of demonizing immigrants, the trans community. It's amazing to me this race could even be close.
This, to pick on such a marginalized group as the trans community, when there's no data whatsoever that, number one, it's anybody's business.
Right.
And that there's any harm from this. And I just think when you live in a society that chooses to demonize other human beings and feels so sanctimonious for doing it, it's a huge problem. All right, support our show by listening to these ads, and we'll be right back to dive more into the politics of the matter. Pumps, it's no secret to our viewer that you used the weight loss drugs and GLP-1s to lose weight, and you look like $1 million. But a lot of people think these aren't accessible to everybody. How were you able to access them?
The secret for me was For Hers, which provides medically supported weight loss programs for everyone at a more affordable rate.
Hers is changing women's health care by providing access to GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, as well as oral medication kits. Weight loss by Hers is realistic, not restrictive, and is focused on giving you access to the solution that is right for you. Plus, your personalized treatment ships for free directly to your door. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time to find an option that works for you with Hers. Listener, start your free online visit today at forhers.com/IHIP. That's FORHERS.com/IHIP for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/IHIP. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Pumps, as busy as we've been covering this election and getting out all of our pods, I struggle. Am I eating enough healthy foods? And I have to tell you, I am, because I take Field of Greens.
Field of Greens is so convenient because it's medically chosen to help your heart and immune system.
That's right, listener. If you take Field of Greens, you will notice steady energy throughout the day, no afternoon crashes, better sleep, and even my stomach feels so much better. Field of Greens is my go-to for getting the nutrients I need even on those bad eating days. I'm sure you'll love Field of Greens, but if you don't, you can return it for a full refund. Listeners, we've got you 15% off on your first order and free rush shipping. Visit fieldofgreens.com and be sure to use the promo code MANAGER. That's promo code MANAGER at fieldofgreens.com. fieldofgreens.com. Yesterday, Kamala is trotting around with Liz Cheney, and I kind of have a lot of mixed feelings about this. Kylie, play the clip.
I tell people often, I spend a lot of time working on national security issues, and when people that I know in the Republican Party tell me they might be considering voting for Trump from a national security perspective, I ask them, go look at his national security policies. Please go look at them, because what he's proposing in terms of withdrawing from NATO, welcoming Vladimir Putin to attack our NATO allies, he praises Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, and President Xi of China, and Putin of Russia. And if you listen to him, he doesn't just praise those people generally. He praises them for their cruelty. Yep. For their tyranny. Yep. That's not who we are as a nation.
Okay, here's what I have to say about that. Roll the clips, hit hard, fight back. That is snooze fest city, and I don't know what voters Liz Cheney is bringing. And I am not going to go down this rabbit hole. I'm so proud of her for being a normal person. I mean, come on, attack. What happened to the weird stuff? What happened to just the pit bull attack dog stuff? I don't think that's aggressive enough. I don't think that points out. Play the clips of Donald Trump saying crazy shit and then have them react to it. The way we campaign is different. Play him saying it and then react to it. I thought she was really great about a week ago when she said, roll the clip.
Right.
I don't think that those little town hall things with the way news is covered now and you get caught up in this micro algorithm, I don't know that that's super helpful.
What I've read about it is that they're trying to bring in the soft Republican or independent or Republican-leaning independents, and that Liz Cheney gives that group a permission structure. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's a good strategy. I, too, would like to just see an in your face. This is what your candidate's saying. This is what he's doing, like Barack Obama's doing on the campaign trail. I mean, he is lighting his ass up.
Next up, we have Trump, who, he wants to make America great again. And apparently that refers to a very long time ago. Play the clip.
I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Think of that. 1798. That's when we had real politicians that said, we're not going to play games. We have to go back to 1798 to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. We're going to knock the hell out of them.
I mean, this is insanity. That's the shit they need to be playing. That's the stuff they need to be commenting on. He wants to go back to 1798. Slavery is in full swing. Women cannot vote. It's just, he wants to knock the hell out of them when politicians were really tough and all the, he sounds like he's on, benzodiazepines half the time when he's giving all these speeches. That's the shit they need to keep hitting and hitting and hitting, because I believe the more the American public hears how unhinged and crazy he is, the more they're going to run to her.
What disturbs me the most about that is that law gives the permission to the United States government to round up people and put them in internment camps, which is what they did to the Japanese during World War II. And rounding up the migrants, well, where are you going to put the migrants? They're going to
concentrate them.
Right. In internment camps. And that's what he's saying. It's clear as crystal. And it's disgusting that people are not up in arms about that.
And that's what I'm saying. This clip should be played at a rally, at a town hall, and then have Kamala and her surrogates respond. And it needs to be like that. over and over and over again because he will not get on stage with her. He's too scared because she mopped the floor with him and everybody could see how insane he is. He has to stay in very contained little bubbles. So she needs to force the split screen every chance she can get, traveling around with a big screen and lots of clips and then show it that way. And I mean, there's 2 weeks left. And this is why the way I feel she's going to get these middle voters, whether they're Republicans or low information or whatever. The split screen is her friend.
I completely agree because people, I mean, it's proven fact. The more people see him, the less they like him. The more people they see her, they like her better. So can't hurt.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
It's so